Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video I'm going to be covering Lucan. He made his first appearance in Invincible, issue number 23, that was released in June of 2005. He's a warrior and a forward scout of the powerful Viltrumite Empire, standing approximately 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing 285 pounds, having brown eyes and black hair, although he keeps it bald. Lucan's Viltrumite physiology gives him all the vast abilities of his race. This being said, he has vast superhuman strength, actually being approximately the third or maybe fourth strongest of all Viltrumites. This is due to his extensive training and his bulky muscle mass, being considerably more muscled than most others of his people. Additionally, he also has vast superhuman speed and agility, as well as stamina that can last for weeks on end. He can fly and has extensive superhuman durability, being pretty much invulnerable to most conventional physical attack, except if it's by a being that's at least of his power level or higher. And if you do happen to injure Lucan, just like other Viltrumites, he has a moderate healing factor, being able to regenerate from horrific injuries that would typically kill any other life form. This healing factor also likely lends itself to his decelerated aging, being able to live potentially thousands of years in his physical prime. And if all of this wasn't enough, Viltrumites all have genetic dominance, with their genes being able to override the traits of any other alien species that they may mate with. The only significant weaknesses that Lucan shares with all Viltrumites is the fact that they must breathe air at some point, only being able to hold their breath for up to 2 weeks. In addition to having a very vulnerable inner ear, with certain frequencies being able to cause extreme pain and even death. Now, we first see Lucan as one of the 3 Viltrumite warriors that appeared in the skies of the planet Thragg when Omni-Man first tried to desert the Viltrumite Empire. Lucan and his cohorts nearly decimated the entire Thragg population, that is, until Omni-Man came out of hiding and faced them down. During the heat of this intense battle, Lucan actually followed Omni-Man's son, Invincible, to a dark cave that he had hoped to hide in. When Lucan caught up with the boy in the caves, he was shocked to discover that Omni-Man had other children, and that Invincible was protecting his siblings. This was just the pause that Invincible needed to quickly attack Lucan and for them to escape. But Lucan quickly recovered and almost caught up with them in the skies above Thragg before Omni-Man slammed him to the ground. The result was an epic battle between the 2 heavyweights. But Omni-Man's age and experience would give him the upper hand over Lucan, literally gutting him and leaving him for dead on the ground before catching up with his son. But as Omni-Man stood triumphant over his attackers, he wouldn't realize that Lucan was a lot tougher than he thought, and that he had actually survived the previous attack. With his intestines literally in hand, Lucan would slam into the back of Omni-Man, breaking his spine. Both of the 2 would then pass out, but yet they would both recover later. We next see Lucan during the Viltrumite War, when he was sent to confront the entire Grayson family. Lucan would simultaneously fight with Omni-Man and his other son Oliver, while the other Viltrumite invader Conquest would battle Invincible. Lucan would actually hold his own against the 2 superpowered beings, but he would eventually turn his attention to their other allies, even taking part in the final battle of the war over Viltrum, and being one of the multiple Viltrumites that beat Alan the Alien so bad that he was forced to leave the battle. After the decimation of the Viltrum planet and the Viltrumite people, Lucan would be one of the few that remained and that would colonize Earth, being given explicit instructions to reproduce with as many human females as possible in an attempt to boost the Viltrumites' numbers once again. But Lucan would end up staying faithful to one woman that he fell in love with and married, which ironically would make him have more in common with his previous enemy Omni-Man than any other Viltrumite. So after Lucan and his other comrades were scolded by their leader Thragg and awaiting punishment, it was discovered that Omni-Man was the true legitimate ruler of the Viltrumite Empire. Thus, Lucan would play a role in overthrowing Thragg and recognizing their rightful leader. Now, for his powers and abilities and his influence on the Image Comics universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Lucan a rating of 7, which is a master rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the new Sage.